Hey guys, I know, Sonic Fable. Been a while. I apologize. I will talk about it later in a different video, but right now, I'm here to talk about How to Train Your Dragon 2. Yes, the motion picture. I got to see it early because some great people in the world got me advance tickets to the movie. What did I think about it? Well, what didn't I think about it? It is great. I promise you that it is a great family film for everyone, really. It's not even just a family film. I went in it expecting, because I enjoyed the first one a lot. That year, though, my favorite animated picture went to Toy Story 3. I believe that's when it came out, when Toy Story 3 came out. Anyway, wow. The first one, first of all, was one of my favorite movies of that year. But still, this one oversurpassed it. This one has action, heartfelt moments, comedy. I genuinely felt very surprised by it, even though I forgot the movie was coming out. I'll be honest. I kind of didn't realize it until I got the news that, hey, you've been invited to go see the screening. And oh my gosh, am I very impressed, guys. You guys have to go see this movie. There are a couple times in the movie that the comedy kind of slips up a bit. And and it is a fault for me, because that really is the only fault. There is an actual villain in this movie. In the first one, there wasn't really much of a villain. But this one, there's a villain, and he has motivation. And you understand why he wants to go for what he wants to. I don't want to talk about it, because that is all spoilerish. Yeah, I don't really want to go into spoilers yet. I'll go into spoilers a little bit about what I really thought, what made it really prove better. Hiccup and Toothless relationship in this movie is doggone spotless. These two are best friends, and you can see why. Even though Toothless can't talk, and Hiccup really just kind of talks for him, but you can see their relationship growing and growing. Oh man, and did I love the action in this movie. There was actual action. People, dragons were fighting people, people were fighting dragons, people were fighting people, dragons were fighting dragons. Holy crap. You didn't think that would come out of this movie, where the first one there wasn't really much action. And the family aspect is really in there too. I don't want to spoil it because it is there's a major spoiler about this family thing. But actually, if you've seen, I think one of the trailers has spoiled a thing that is it's a very key spoiler. And I was like, I didn't see that trailer. I watched a couple trailers after I was done watching the movie. I went back to my house and I watched the trailers and I'm like, oh, that spoiled it. I really hope a lot of you guys did not watch the trailers for this, well, a couple of them. The first trailer that came out wasn't that bad. It didn't spoil much. However, a couple of them really got into the spoilers, and unfortunately, that made me upset a bit. Yeah. However, this is gonna be. I hope it's still one of my favorite films of the year. This was a great movie. Toothless has a Godzilla moment in it. That's all I'll say about that, really. If I really had to rate this movie, I really don't like rating the movies, but if I had to give it a score out of 5, I'd probably give it 4.5 out of 5. It is one of the best animated movies I've seen all year, even though I've only seen the Lego Movie. And compared to that, I do love the Lego Movie more. The Lego Movie has a really special place right here in my heart. But this movie is a really close second for Best Animated Picture of the Year. However, I haven't seen any other animated pictures for the rest of the year. Disney's coming out with that Big Hero 6, and oh my gosh, am I hoping that that's great. So I am hoping that this is definitely right now, it is in my top 5 favorite films of the year, even though I've only seen about 6 films. So, if you see a list later the year and it says How to Train Your Dragons in number, 4 or 5. I can't really know on the top of my head. I haven't seen many movies, I'll tell you that. But this year, I'm going to see more movies. I know later this month is June, so you got Fault in Our Stars, Edge of Tomorrow, Jersey Boys. Transformers, I'm hoping, is even at least decent. I'll give it a pass if it is at least decent. But let me get into some spoilers, so if you haven't seen the film, please turn the video off right now and go see the movie. This movie is definitely worth purchasing the money for, in 3D, by the way. This movie is the best 3D movie I have ever seen. So please, turn off the video right now unless you have seen the movie, or if you've seen all the trailers. Not even. Go see the movie. I bet there's still stuff you'll be surprised about. Yeah, so if you are still here, I assume you have watched the movie, and oh my god, let me just start out by saying I wasn't expecting that whole land of dragons. When all the dragons came flushing out, I was like, wow, this is awesome. Especially with the 3D. Again, like I said, best 3D movie ever. You can agree with me too. When they showed Hiccup's mom riding the dragon for the first time again, I'm in spoilers, so I don't have to worry about not spoiling it for you guys. When they showed her riding in the clouds for the first time, you're like, whoa, what is that? And then you realize it's her mom. You actually can feel connection for her too, which is the best part. When the father sees the mother for the first time, I think I was almost about to break down into tears. That was so dramatic and perfect, because he wouldn't yell at her. She starts telling him, start yelling at me. Why aren't you yelling at me? And he just says, you're just as beautiful as I last saw you. And, oh man, that was perfect. Hit it on the nail on the head. And they showed why the father is very important in this movie too. One of the reasons I really I didn't like the father in the first one. I thought he really didn't I think it was for a reason. I didn't like the father because he didn't understand his son in the first one. Now he understands his son, and he's changed. And that was his whole point of the movie. Sometimes people don't change. Sometimes they do. And you can see that. You can clearly see when people have changed. And the mother saw how the father changed. Can I also say that the villain in this movie, the motivation for the villain is great. The fact that he said that these dragons killed his village and took his arm, he has a reason to hate these dragons and to take them over. And I do respect him for that. However, I was kind of disappointed at the end, though, is another thing. Sorry, my arm is, I'm holding the camera up right now. I can understand why he's mad, but I was really expecting him to, kind of die at the end. But it is a children's film. You can't expect to see everyone die. It was sad enough when the father died. And when Hiccup yelled at Toothless, I was like, why? Why? He didn't do anything wrong. And the mother even said that. He's like, I know. And when sorry, I gotta move my arm a little bit. When Toothless went away, when they saw Toothless break the control of the Alpha, man, magical moments on screen. These are magical moments you want to see in the theater, and I believe DreamWorks really knows how to do this. This movie was great. Please, if you sat through the spoilers and didn't listen to me, you listened to me rattle off a couple of things that I really loved about the movie and was very shocked by. I also was shocked about the whole thing about him becoming chief. He took it like how I feel that a young adult would feel. Like, he said, I don't feel the responsibility. I'm not ready yet. I'm not like my father. I see that in him. And he said, even though he says it, well, he does say it a lot, but I can see where he's coming from. There was one thing I was kind of not okay about. Like, the mother said she was coming back to the island. I'm like, wait, aren't you going to take care of the dragons? They solved it at the end. How the dragons are now going to live on Berk. I really hope there isn't a third one. I'll be honest. I don't know how they can go on from there. But then again, I wasn't expecting to see a sequel to this. Nor was I seeing it. Kung Fu Panda 2. Let me be honest, that one is one of my favorite DreamWorks Pictures films. I didn't know how they were going to do a second one. I'll be honest, from the first one, because the first one was great, and then the second one was amazing. It's the same thing here. The first one was great, this one was amazing. Please, tell me how you thought about it in the comments below. I would totally love to hear your opinions. So, this is a non-edit review about How to Train Your Dragon 2. More videos will be coming in the future soon, guys, I promise. Comic Book Wednesdays will be returning in a future point. The car fables, those will be whenever I want to post them up. I really do apologize for not doing those. It's the motivation. I promise you guys. There will be motivation soon enough. But please, tell me what you thought about How to Train Your Dragon 2 below. Did you think it was better than the first one? What points did you not like themselves? What kind of the comedies? Oh, I should have mentioned that. The one comedy bit. So there's this girl, the other girl that's not Hiccup's girlfriend, Astrid. She's played by Kristen Wiig, I believe. Either Kristen Wiig or Kristen Bell. I can't remember on the top of my head. Anywho, she kinda... There's these two guys, Jonah Hill and Christopher Mintz-Plaza, who like her, but she doesn't. And then she falls for Gerard Butler. By the way, this is probably one of the best Gerard Butler performances I've seen in a long time. I don't know, because Gerard Butler's not even my... I don't really care for Gerard Butler, but I did enjoy him in this movie. So she kind of likes him, and the joke got old after a while, because she just... However, when the last joke came in, when she got rescued by both of them, I actually did laugh out loud for that, so I'm very surprised. They redeemed themselves with the joke, so that's why I really didn't... That's why it's not a perfect for me. When I give perfect movies, when I give 5, if I do give 5 out of 5s, they're not the perfect movie, but they're movies that I feel have done something great for their genre. Like X-Men Days of Future Past, I give a 5. It was the best X-Men film and all this stuff, but that's a different story. Anywho, so, again, like I said, I've been rambling on a little bit more than I thought. So, How to Train Your Dragon 2. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear them. Yeah, and so... This is Sonic Fable with the end of my first kind of review in a long time for an early screening. So please, tell me if you guys like the review process as well. Tell me if you want to see any more in the future. Thanks, and have a great day.